How's it going, YouTube? This is Undying Art bringing you episode 1 review of Doctor Who Flux, the Halloween Apocalypse. I'm joined by Shane once again.
What?
Okay, that happened.
That was a good intro. I don't know what to say, sorry.
And we also have another guest, Finn.
Hello.
So,
People of YouTube.
yeah, cool. So Shane hasn't seen the episode, so I'm not entirely sure what kind of contributions he's going to be able to put in, but it's fine. He'll be able to say some stuff that's enlightening, I guess.
I'll get fun facts.
Finn, you're more of a classic Who, Doctor Who fan by the sounds of things, so what do you think of the episode?
I would just describe myself as, I'm not an expert on anything. Like I have enough knowledge on 60s, 70s, 80s wilderness, and then like the reboot. Like it's not a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I know every detail of Colin Baker's run on Doctor Who or something like that.
Oh, you're not allowed to say that. Like, if anyone sees this video, they'll be like, oh no, you have to know everything, or don't speak at all.
They'll be like, wait, you're telling me you haven't seen all 7 years of Tom Baker's run on Doctor Who every weekend for the last 6 years of your life? No, like, you know.
And weren't even longer episodes back then as well, before? Like,
no, they were 25 minutes, but the stories, instead of having multiple stories per season, it would be about 4 stories instead of being...
Oh, I thought they were longer episodes. Where did I get that from?
No, they're 25 minutes, Classic Who.
Ah, okay.
In the 80s, they then turned to 45 minutes around late 5th Doctor, early 6th Doctor, but then I'm pretty sure they reverted back to 25 by the end of the show.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so what do you think of the episode?
It was just fine. The thing is, these whole things, it reminds me of in some ways it is a Classic Who style thing. It's like, instead of being a normal season Doctor Who, they're doing one singular story, and it reminded me kind of The Key to Time, or something like The Trial of the Time Lord, where it was what will soon be like lots of interconnected things that weren't really connected, but they had this end goal. For example, like Key to Time, it was like, oh, we've got to go to the Doctor and Romana had to go to like all these different places to get different elements of the Key to Time so they could please the white and black Guardians, who are like the gods of the Doctor Who universe, essentially. So it'd be something like that, I think. And I think it's hard to judge an entire series on one episode, where this one episode was like, oh yeah, here's a lot of things that are going to be come back to, but they don't really have a plot in the singular episode.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Watching it, I was like, it just seems like random. Well, obviously, because it's the first episode, but like so many random threads, and I'm like, I really hope some of these actually get tied up. Because if it's like season 12 where they just drop plots, no, not season 12. Oh, what was it? Season 11, like with I can't remember his name, the black guy, the black actor, his dyspraxia, and then they don't bring it up for the rest of the season. It's like,
oh, you're talking about the character of Ryan St. Clair?
Yeah, also known as Wooden Plank Number 1.
He's very inconsistently written, but I'm not here to have a go about that.
Yeah, it's just like a really cool concept of like, oh, his motor functions aren't as good as other people's. I don't know.
And then one episode later, he does like a parkour gun scene.
Yeah,
he runs with a gun and he shoots everyone because that's cool.
Because he plays Call of Duty, so he knows how to use a gun.
He knows how to kill people because he played Call of Duty. Just like the real fans out there. We all know how to kill alien robots because we've played World of War.
Yeah, completely. And like, I know how to drive an M1 Abrams because I've played Battlefield a few times. Like, of course, yeah.
I've played Risk, the board game, so I'm basically a warmonger in real life.
Yeah, that's the qualification, isn't it, to be a warmonger?
Yeah, that's how you do it. You play Risk, and then the next thing you've just taken over an entire country.
Oh, Jesus. Have you seen the theory about... Oh, who's the new companion? I forgot his name. Dan.
Dan.
Someone thinks... Oh, actually, no. Quite a few people in this Facebook group I was in were saying that they reckon he's going to be the new Doctor. And I was like, what? Where has that come from?
I'll tell you why that is. It's because it's John Bishop, and because John Bishop is a big name. They're like, oh yeah, he'd make a good Doctor Who.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was. I had to Google him. I was like, oh, he's a comedian. That explains why they
There,
tried to do so many one-liners.
there was this weird theory. It reminds me of. I don't think. Firstly, I don't think it'll happen because, like,
No.
if it does happen, good stuff. Because I like John Bishop. He seems like an all right guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's this one thing in like I don't know where this scene exactly has to do with the whole plot of the show, but in the last series there was this scene where like Bradley Walsh's character Graham, I can't remember his last name, was
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, I'm the Doctor," and it's never addressed.
Does
And then
he?
everyone's like, "Oh, that makes him. He's going to be the next Doctor," which I think it was just a slip of the tongue that they kept in the show. You know what I mean?
God, I don't remember that. The only thing I can think of is like when he says, "I'm not the Doctor" to Jack when he kidnaps him.
Now there's a bit. It's when it's in the Cyberman 2 parlor to end the series.
Okay. I don't
And
remember
it's
that. That's
like
interesting.
everyone was like, "Oh my god, it means that he's going to be the next Doctor and he's the Timeless Child." And I was like, calm down,
Ah, I love Doctor Who fans. They're so,
calm
so
down.
passionate. And yeah, I can't really think. So there was a start of the episode with them hanging upside down. There's some weird like
Well, the
CGI
episode
fest.
starts in Liverpool in 1970. I don't know. It's like 1927 or something like that. You know what I mean? With some sort of historical event happening with the guy who built the Liverpool Underground, and I'm like, so that's going to be some
Oh
sort
yeah, I
of
completely forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
And he was like, they're like, what are your intentions with this Liverpool Underground? He goes, definitely not evil. I'm definitely not going to be a bad guy in this event.
Wink, wink.
Wink, 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 nudge. He said as he pulled off his Scooby Doo style mask and said, actually, I'm the bad guy. No, so that was just a baffling start. And then you get like
Yeah, I completely forgot it. That's how good it was.
you get like some typical sequel-esque stuff where it's like, oh yeah, the Doctor and Yaz have been going on so many wacky adventures since you last
Oh,
saw
that's so
them.
accurate. That is so accurate. I was literally thinking like this feels like Star Wars right now. It's like yeah.
It's basically to re-establish people, and they go, yeah.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, like, I think I forget the actress's name, who plays Yaz off the top of my head.
Mandip or something? No, or is that a surname? I can't remember.
But I think she's a good actress. I think she just needed some good characterization, and it's sad to see that if that did happen, it happened off screen, which
Yeah, like it did feel like they've
shame.
Yasmin. No, that's not Mandip. Gil or Jill is her actress name.
Yeah, but like the sad thing is, I feel like that's a character with a lot of potential, especially with the whole police background. You're like, oh, she has a moral sense.
They dropped that as well in season 11. Like she just became a wooden plank. Like you would have thought, like she would have some sort of like authority in like the episodes, but no, she just became companion.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say is, she had like this character arc in between seasons, which I think she's on a strong point at the beginning of the show. Like I liked she had this moment later in the thing. She's like, "Oh, I'm Yasmin Khan, and I deal with alien stuff all the time, and Dan, you'll be all right. I'll get you out of this dog cage."
Yeah.
And I liked that moment, but I feel like that moment would have been a lot better if she had a character arc before.
Yeah.
Because she's just gone from like, oh, I do quirky space adventures too. I'm the expert on space.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was thinking that because she's like really competent with the TARDIS and stuff, and I'm just like, where the hell has all this development come from? They've just written it in to be like, yeah, this is a thing that's the case now.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, but I feel like it must be done for a reason. There's going to be some sort of payoff later on in the series, leading where like Yaz does a thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what the thing is yet because we're one episode out of 6, but there'll be something that Yaz will do.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely better than her previous counterparts because she actually feels like a character now at this point.
She feels more like a character than she did with Ryan and Graham. I think the issue with that is like the same issue that it kind of reminds me of with Peter Davison when he had his TARDIS trio of Nissa Tegan and Adric.
Yeah, I've heard someone say that. It's like there's too many companions to make them all
Yeah, none of them
developed.
really had characterization until Nissa and Adric left, and then Tegan was paired off with a new companion, Turlo, and then that's where the character stuff happened with that character. So I feel like it's, in a weird way, it's history repeating itself.
Yeah, but it might be. Well, actually, it's going to be better now because there's only 2 companions, unless they have another another one in the series.
But yeah, so basically, it just starts off like that, and then it's like it kind of felt a bit like they were throwing everything at this first episode, because you get
Yeah, I
from
agree
there
with
you get the introduction of Dan, which I thought was probably the strongest point of the episode, because it was just like it went from this crazy Scooby-Doo-esque fucking over-the-top adventure to, oh yeah, I'm a guy from Liverpool who has a good heart and I like people, but I don't have any money and I don't have any food.
I'm struggling, but I'm still helping out at the food bank, even though I should be having it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, I like this stuff. I like this character. That works well. And then from there, it is just kind of a series of tangents for the whole episode.
Yeah, definitely. It just feels like they just went, right, we need to set up this, 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 and this, and this, so let's just do it all in one episode. It's like, Jesus Christ.
It was stuff like there was the girl who showed up and was like, Doctor, you haven't met me yet, but we're going to go on this crazy time adventure later in this series. Anyway, there's a weeping angel over there, so I'm going to disappear into the space-time continuum. See you later.
Yeah.
And then there was the Sontarans who showed up for no reason.
They had change, like, outfit-wise. Is that because they want to look like the original Sontarans?
Well, they look more like Time Warrior Sontarans than your Poison Scar. They look more like 70s Sontarans than the new.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if they were trying to go back to classic look or whether it's just a new look.
I think is good, because the Time Warrior is by far the strongest Sontaran story, especially like General Lynx is an interesting character. So to visually go back to that kind of implies that narratively they might go back to being a warmongering race instead of what Stephen Moffat did, where they were used as more of a comedic punchline.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was Moffat who did the Sontaran stratagem.
No, I was talking more so through the character of Strax and the passing.
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, I completely forgot about them as well.
That sort of thing looks like it isn't going to be brought up again, and it looks like, again, I say looks like, because the Sontaran episode airs in a few hours. It's not even out yet, so.
Oh shit! It's Sunday. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. You can't judge it on opinions alone, but looking at it.
Yeah. Did you find the joke with the Sontarans at the end of the episode really jarring? I felt like I was watching The Last Jedi at the start of it again.
Oh, well, he was like, "Oh yeah, you're really ugly."
Yeah. It's like, no, but seriously, you're ugly. It's like, right, okay. Where's the your mum joke?
I thought it started off okay. It was like, okay, you're really ugly. I was like, okay, that kind of works, because they're they're the warrior race and they take pride in battle. They're kind of basically, for people who don't watch Doctor Who, the comparison point would be the Doctor Who equivalent to the Klingons. It's not as simple as that, but they kind of are. And it would be like, they are like that. So by them comparing them, going, oh yeah, these guys are really ugly, and that, it's jokes that have been made before. The whole Sontaran looks like potato joke is so overplayed at this point that, it just kind of seems invalid.
I just think it was dragged out too long. If they just cut it a bit short and just went, "You're ugly," and it's like, "Yeah, right, cool. Let me give you my information." But he just carried on. Seriously, no, you're really ugly. It's like, okay.
You're the ugliest Sontaran who's ever looked. You look like more worse than a potato. You look like a broken potato. It was a bit overplayed.
Yeah.
But that's splitting hairs over the actual quality of the thing. The actual story itself set up quite a lot, and it was all. The thing I've seen a lot on the internet is a lot of people complain, "Oh, it's a lot of setup." But if you look at any classic Who serial, all of the first parts are mainly set up. Do you know what I mean?
So they are Chibnall's going to influences of the old series then.
Yeah, definitely more so than classic. Definitely more so of a classic Who feel to it than a new Who feel.
That explains why it felt so different, because I haven't watched any of the classic, really. Not
The
religiously, I
thing
should
is,
say.
I think it's on a bigger scale because normally you get your classic Who story and it will be. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I'll make up a classic Who story just to explain. It'd be like Doctor Who and the Terror of Terror Town, and he'll show up on like some sort of spaceship, and then the first part will be there's something on the spaceship, and then it'll go, actually these guys are the good guys, and they're a rebel faction who have to fight the Gazorblions, who are these alien species, and then 6 episodes of that,
Yeah.
right? And each episode ends on a cliffhanger of, oh no, how will the Doctor get out of this one? Most infamously, there's a Sylvester McCoy one where he randomly jumps off a cliff and hangs himself off of it, literally being a cliffhanger.
Oh, that's great. Not
it
on the
just
nose at all.
happens for no reason. If this is going to be a video thing, maybe put up the clip of that, because it's pretty funny. But it kind of felt a bit like that. Like I liked the cliffhanger at the end of. Jumping ahead quite a bit because I got more to say, but looking at that cliffhanger with the flux thing itself, is going after the TARDIS and it's like, oh, the universe is going to end, we're all going to die. I was like, okay, that feels like a kind of classic Who thing. Like, that feels like tune in next week. How will the Doctor get out of this wacky scenario?
Yeah, especially as it's literally like about to, like the flux stuff is about to touch the TARDIS. It's like, how are they going to get out of it? But yeah.
I reckon, spoiler alert, they'll dematerialise and appear.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why is she not just gone instead of witnessing it and going like, wow? It feels like the story tropes where like they're about to get murdered and they just watch it happen. It's like, run away. Like, what do you mean?
So going on actually what actually happens in it, there's there's a lot we haven't talked about. There's the dog. What did you think about the dog alien guy? I forget his name.
Kavast? No, I can't remember. Kavastan? I can't remember. No, that sounds like a place. Yeah.
The greatest.
What was his name? I can't remember. People said like it just looks like a really bad Chewbacca, but to me it just looks like a dog. Like just like nothing else. Like people say that they just tried to like they couldn't do Chewbacca, so they did something that looks similar. But to me it just looks like a human dog, which I don't think Chewbacca is a human dog at all.
Apparently, I think it's Carvastian.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it was some strange name.
I thought it was fine. I thought his characterization was a bit all over the place. He has this whole kind of can he be trusted thing, but I don't think it works out.
Yeah.
The idea, obviously, they tie it back to what happened in the last season with the Timeless Child thing by having him being agent of the organisation that, kept the Timeless Child thing a secret. That's why the Doctor was after him in the beginning.
No, not Society. What's it called?
It's called. Oh God, I forgot now. It's come off the top of my head.
Yeah,
it begins with R. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
But basically, so after that whole wacky adventure, they're like tracking down this guy who's meant to be the conqueror of worlds. Spoiler alert: he's a dog.
A human dog.
And a human dog with a battle axe.
Yep.
But he ends up being this member of the organisation that kept the Timeless Child. And if you're familiar with Classic Who, is likely the organisation responsible for Series 6B from the expanded universe. But that's getting probably too deep for this sort of thing. But he seems to be an agent of that, and that's why the Doctor's after him. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, while you've been faffing about looking for me to try and sort your own life out, Doctor, the universe has been ending."
Yeah.
And then there was a cut to this new alien entity who was like, "Oh yeah, I'm the greatest evil. I'm ancient, much like yourself, Doctor, but I'm going to kill you and I'm going to destroy everything. And we've fought many times before, but you just can't remember it."
And again, that felt like the sequels as well, with like a Skype call kind of thing through the space. It's like, why does it feel so much like Star Wars?
It does have a really weird moment in it that I haven't been able to think.
You're cut out a bit there, mate.
Ever since, because it's just so. What's that?
You cut out there a second.
Oh, I was saying there's a moment in the episode that is quite cringy and quite. I think it's just a misread line of dialogue where there's a bit where the doctor's like, "We're gonna go to Halloween," and then Yaz goes, "Halloween, trick or treat,"
Yeah.
and then it cuts to like a nightmare scene, and it seems a bit all over the place. But I feel like this could be leading to something good.
Yeah.
That's basically what I would say. Like, despite its flaws, it might actually have some good moments in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what the aliens were called. I think one's called like Swarm or something. Like the girl alien. Is that?
I can't remember. My theory is that this alien's going to be revealed to be the Master.
Oh, really? You think that? What the guy one?
Possibly, yeah. I know that was a
Oh, that could.
that was a
Yeah, I'm
bad,
like looking at it. It could be Sasha underneath.
that was quite a rapid theory before the episode came out, but it was like, oh yeah, this is going to be he's going to do the classic Who Master thing of peeling off a fake face, essentially, like Scooby Doo, like what I said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy's called Swarm, and I can't find what the sister's called.
But the rumor is why he can incinerate people is because of his exposure to the death particle in the last series.
So that would actually make that end not really jarring.
Yeah,
I think
it's like I I don't know. Like it's really hard to formulate an opinion on something that is an event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of, for lack of a better comparison, because this is a much better TV show, but also a lot harder to explain. It reminds me of Twin Peaks: The Return, back from like 2017, where it was very hard to formulate a singular opinion on each episode because David Lynch made it to be like a 4 hour long movie and randomly started editing like it into individual episodes instead of it being a consent TV show. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it's I can't really think. So it'd be like if the Snyder Cut just randomly cut off at random points and you had to wait a week to see the next part. The next part.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what Twin Peaks: The Return was, and that's kind of what it reminds me of in form of structure. Like it is a very similar thing in the sense that I don't know what's going to happen next, and it's not like when you look at like two parts, especially in New Who, less so Classic Who, but especially in New Who, it'd be like, oh no, the Master's going to blow something up, and then you go, how are they going to get out of this one? But you get a rough idea of it because you know that the Master's going to do this, and I don't think that's the case with Doctor Who Flux because they've set up so much. The only reason we know that like the Sontarans are going to be in this next episode is because of the little teaser at the end of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just really hard to get a balanced opinion on it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like the whole series and then just see if it actually is good. Because like after the episode ended, I was like, it's actually felt like Doctor Who. Like season 11 and 12 kind of felt like the Sci-Fi Channel, like a knockoff of Doctor Who. It didn't feel Doctor Who to me.
See, I think there are episodes in season 11 and 12 that I think really do work quite well.
I liked the Lone Cyberman episode with the Villa of Diodati.
Yeah, I liked. There were two that really stuck out to me off the top of my head, which is Demons of the Punjab, but I'd have to rewatch it because I've only seen it once.
I think I rewatched it and I thought it was worse than when I first watched it, but
and the other one that I really liked was, oh god, now my brain's gone dead. It was. Give me a second, I'll come back to it. We just.
Alright, yeah, no worries. I liked the pilot episode for her as well, actually, to be fair. Like, she had like some kind of doctor mannerisms and then they kind of just got rid of them in the season.
Yeah, but then there were a few episodes that I thought were okay. I quite liked the beginning of Spyfall,
Yes,
part
yeah,
one, which I thought was quite good. I like the twist of there being this master that the Doctor didn't know existed, and all that.
yeah,
And then part two was okay, but
yeah, definitely.
I feel like the issue with this era in comparison to previous is it. Doctor Who is a show that can be anything. Doctor Who was originally designed to be an educational children's show, and then was rapidly changed with the success of the second serial, the Mutants, renamed the Daleks, right? Uh,
Okay, cool.
like the original intent for Doctor Who was to be a historical education show. That's why you have stories like the Romans or the Aztecs that appear throughout
Yeah,
60s Doctor Who, right? And then from there, it went on to be a James Bond esque show with the third Doctor being stuck on Earth, and then it became like a Hammer horror inspired show under Philip Hinchcliffe, and it progressed and progressed and progressed, and then you got to like John Nathan Turner, which is where the show started to decline in the 80s, but is also kind of where it kind of just became more so generic into being science fiction. And the same sort of thing goes with New Who. I think like each season of New Who has a unique place in like that you couldn't get on other shows. But I
yeah.
feel like the
Like
problem,
series 5 feels very fairy tale
yeah,
compared to like the rest of the New Who.
yeah, exactly that sort of thing. And it's like the thing is with the Jodie is like they've tried quite a lot of different things. Like you had, I just remember that other episode was, but I'll get to that in a second. But you had
Yeah,
like
no worries.
stuff like Demons in the Punjab, Rosa, and this is the other episode I was thinking of earlier, but the Witchfinders,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah, that was actually nice.
these episodes that are trying to make a point of the importance of diversity and the importance of women and the importance of this in history, which is a really interesting thing to say. The
Yeah,
effectiveness of how they say it could be debated via
especially
episode. I'm not
Rosa
saying.
with just making the villain literally just a racist. It's like, okay, this is a little bit on the nose, but okay.
I would say that's probably the biggest flaw with Rosa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
they
the
could have not
strange
even had
ending.
they could have not even had a
It
villain.
could have been.
Like,
It would have been better if they didn't have a villain.
yeah,
But like, I admire the show for trying to do these different things, and then and then you also have these like throwbacks to the John Pertwee era with stuff like Spyfall and stuff like that. But
yeah,
the issue is, I don't think it's found its unique entity. Something like
yeah. It
if you
feels
want to
like
look at
it's a
like
mixed match. Like the
yeah,
yeah,
whereas something like Capaldi's season 12 was a bit of a throwback to the Seventh Doctor and Ace, but like a modern interpretation of it, being the professor and student relationship, or
yeah.
or for example, David Tennant's first series with Rose being this whole romantic date getaway show, for lack of a better comparison. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watching it like
But
back, it's a bit weird now. But yeah,
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 I just feel like season 11 and 12 have this thing where they tried a lot of things, and what they tried, some of it worked really well, some of it didn't work. Timeless Child, for example, didn't work very well, but other ideas that Chibnall had worked quite well.
yeah.
But the issue is there's no consistent through line, and I think that's what Flux is going to fix, and it's going to fix it by looking back upon stuff like the Key to Time and Trial of the Time Lord, which is a weird place to draw your influence because Trial of a Time Lord is quite the unpopular season, let's say. But something like Key to
Okay,
Time, people quite like
yeah.
via retrospect. So I can see why they would do that.
I do hope it's a good series. Like, especially like I don't want Chibnall as much as some of his choices annoy me. I don't want his entire era to be just shit. Like 11, 12, and 13 all bad. Like if they can go out with a good season, then like yeah, definitely do it.
Yeah, it's something where I feel like Chibnall has potential. Before we recorded this, we were talking about his David Tennant episodes and like how they're a mixed bag.
Yeah, like 42 is just I literally skip it. I just
Yeah, 42 is interesting because it's trying to be set in real time, but it doesn't really work and is not that great.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But it's this interesting thing where you can definitely make Chibnall can definitely make unique ideas, but
Well,
it's do
Torchwood
his
series 1
ideas
was him,
have
wasn't it? Or series 1 and 2? I can't remember. Was
sorry?
Torchwood all him?
Pardon?
Wasn't Torchwood? He was the showrunner of Torchwood, wasn't he? Like all of it.
No, Russell was the show. Russell basically ran Torchwood, but Chris Chibnall was I think he was a producer or a constant writer on Torchwood.
Oh right, yeah, I knew he was a big part of it. I can't remember what.
But it's stuff like, if you look at Torchwood, Torchwood's a good example of what I'm trying to say with his writing style. Torchwood is, at least season 1 and 2, season 3 and 4, despite season 4 having its flaws, are definitely more consistent, because much like Doctor Who Flux, actually, they're telling one singular story over the whole season, right?
Yeah, like the...
Stuff like Children of Earth and Miracle Day.
Yeah, Miracle Day, that's it. I really like that season, even though at the end of it, like, yeah. But I like the premise more than the actual execution.
But season 1 and 2 of Torchwood, especially season 1, season 2 is a pretty good adult version of Doctor Who, right? It deals with the whole sex stuff and that. But season 1 has a lot of Chibnall's greater problems. You have these ideas where he kind of went a bit
like
mad.
Sex Mist and stuff.
We can make the adult Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we'll make the adult Doctor Who. What's the bad guy going to be? A cloud that makes people have sex, and then
yes, I know. It's like Sex Mist.
They
just
turn
like,
into clouds,
oh
and they get exhausted. Or the other episode is like, let's reinvent the Cybermen for the Torchwood generation.
Oh my
let's
god,
have boobs and high heels and
Cyberwoman. Oh dear lord.
So the whole thing with Chibnall is he has some good ideas. There's nothing wrong with telling a Doctor Who story or a Torchwood story focusing on sex. I always feel like his execution of these ideas is where the problem is.
I know it's an adult TV show, but I can't think of a better word, but it seems like childish, the way...
It is a little bit.
But it's weird, because an episode all about like sex, aliens shouldn't really be childish, and it just comes across like that.
I would say the whole thing with Chibnall, though, and this is what I think the Flux will be a proof of concept of, is can his ideas stick? Because he has so many ideas that he constantly goes, they're good concepts. Even looking at it, like The Timeless Child, for example, is a good concept, right?
Yeah, just for me and for a lot of people, it shouldn't have been the Doctor.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been the Doctor. But the idea of the Gallifreyans stealing the concept of regeneration from another alien...
Yeah, that's fantastic, and completely in line with how evil they come across. And it
completely works with the idea of them doing this whole thing of like the Gallifreyans being corrupt and having their own... I'm going to really annoy because I can't remember the name of that secret group.
I'm going to have to Google it.
But basically... that them having their own like secret police force that like force Time Lords to do different things has been an idea explored before, and I think making that canon was really good. And I like all that sort of stuff. My issue comes where you make the Doctor more important. This is the same sort of thing Moffat did wrong, which is where you make the Doctor less be so an adventure in space and time and make them the most important person who ever lived.
Yeah, like... Yeah, I think, did I say it? I think in the first episode of the podcast, me and Dan, who's my co-host, talked about our favourite episodes of Doctor Who, and I was saying that I think The Timeless Child would have worked if they made it the Master, because then you'd understand why the fuck the Master's so angry and destroys Gallifrey.
Yeah, it also could have worked because the Master has done many things to cheat regeneration before. Such as stealing the body of Nissa's father, or if you really want to be, I know this is a bit of a can of worms with some fans, but if you look at Doctor Who the movie starring Paul McGann, he became a weird temple worm that possessed a random ambulance driver, and then that guy became the Master for a bit.
What the fuck? Sounds like a fever dream.
It is a fever dream, but like, Doctor Who the movie is just interesting. I don't think it's terrible, but it's definitely not as what fans would have wanted, let's say that. But like, what I'm trying to say is like the whole thing of the Master doing...
The Division, sorry, I found it. The Division, is that what you're talking about?
The Division, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Division essentially exist in expanded lore before this point as well, because there is a thing that is canon called Series 6B, which is this is gonna like going on this rant. It's probably inappropriate, but going on this rant is gonna like just explain how bizarre some of the expanded stuff is. You know,
I can't wait.
basically, there's a Sixth Doctor story called The Two Doctors in which he crosses over with the Second Doctor, but the Second Doctor has grey hair, which he never had canonically in his run. So instead of them just going, there's a series of novels written after the effect called the Series 6B novels, where the Doctor worked for what is essentially the Division. After his regeneration, he was, instead of regenerating directly into Pertwee, he was given back his lifespan to serve a sentence for the Gallifreyans, where he then was reunited with Jamie and Veronica. After their memories had been erased, they were given back their memories, and they went off and swanned about for the Division, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is a stupid little thing, but again, it shows that these ideas work, and it shows even having the idea of the fugitive Doctor.
Yeah, I like the idea of that, but
it works. But the thing with Chibnall and the thing I'm trying to say with Flux is, it's a matter of will he pull it through, because his ideas work in concept and on paper. It is just the execution where the flaw is.
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, that pretty much sums up my opinions on one episode of television.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, the Weeping Angel. Did you notice like the one inconsistency with the Weeping Angel?
Is it that it moved, but it didn't actually move, change expression?
Yeah, I found that so jarring. I was like, what is going like? I couldn't put my hand on it. Couldn't put my finger on it, and then I realised, oh, he hasn't. They haven't looked at him or like gone like angry. Just like the entire time, hands over their eyes. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all comes together. But it's like Flux feels a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, and we only have the first piece, so it's a bit of an asinine opinion to sit there and be able to go, oh yeah, this whole series is going to be the best series of Doctor Who ever, or it's going to be fucking garbage. I'm going to turn it off and throw it in the bin.
Oh yeah, I've just you said at the start with like the 1926 people.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that girl, I can't remember her name, got sent back to that time, and that's when you're going to see it?
Something like that. I feel like that might be how you tie it in.
Yeah, because otherwise, why would the Doctor go to another timeline? Go to Liverpool in a different timeline to meet the girl, and then also but that doesn't make sense because if she gets sent back in time, how does she go back to present day unless she gets picked up by the Doctor and the Doctor takes her back to present day? But then it's not present day because she then says like we haven't met yet. It's like my brain's just exploded.
This is what I was trying to avoid. This is the problem with talking about this sort of thing. Basically,
yeah, but I love talking about this stuff because it's just that's magical.
This is where your head explodes, and we've got like a Blade Runner turtle situation.
Oh, that is mad. Yeah, I thought like it was almost a good thing, and then I realised, hang on a minute, no, that doesn't make sense.
It's a thing where I'm sure overall it will work.
Because, yeah, I don't know, like, because if she does take her back to the present day, then isn't that a paradox? Because then she's getting just sent, not a paradox, a time loop, because she's getting sent back in time, and then taken back to present day, and then sent back in time, and then, oh dear, my brain. Okay.
I've just made a shocking realisation.
Yeah.
Which is that Mr. Soul Reaver Customs is still here.
Oh, did you not realise? Yeah, he's just been completely silent. He's probably... I really hope he's sat there listening to us and like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I've literally just been sat here listening to him.
Have you?
Said anything?
You're probably just like, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah.
I get what you're talking about, kind of. I hear some things here and there. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. And then I'm just like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So have you got anything to contribute about Doctor Who Flux?
I just hope Davros is behind everything, you know? That's it.
Yeah, they can bring him back again, it's fine.
Yeah. I have a weird thing with Davros, but I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
What, you don't like him, or you don't like the fact that they use him too much?
Written in I like him written exclusively in Genesis of the Daleks. And every other thing, I feel like it's a diminishing return on that performance.
Oh, okay.
Like he's introduced because he spoiler alert for a 1970s piece of science fiction that most people who watch Doctor Who have seen. Davros dies at the end of Genesis of the Daleks, which is his first appearance, right?
Oh, okay.
And then he's consistently resurrected via stupid means throughout the whole course of Classic Who and then into New Who, right?
Yeah, because in New Who, Khan just breaks through the time lock and rescues Davros and the entire army. It's like, what the fuck?
But basically, before that, he got resurrected a bunch of times. And then the last time you see him is in the Seventh Doctor, where he supposedly got blown up and killed, but then he didn't because he's in the Time War. So, it's inconsistent. But my whole thing with Davros is, he was really good in Genesis, and I think it was diminishing returns. That's a weird side note to not be talking about Doctor Who Flux, but there you go.
That's fair enough, though. Yeah, but it's Doctor Who, so you're going to slide all the time? That's not the right. Tangent all the time. Like, the thing with the Angels for me is I feel like the more they use them, the more they're just going to get boring.
I think they work really well in Blink. I'm not the biggest fan of Blink. I think Blink has flaws. I think it's interesting to do the Doctor Light story, and I think that works.
Yeah, I love the Doctor Light stories.
I just feel like Blink hasn't aged the best, considering it's based on the idea of DVD Easter eggs, and I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of kids would be like, what the fuck's a DVD? Isn't it digital? What do you mean?
What, you mean to tell me you don't go on Netflix? No, but but then obviously that was written at a time where DVD was quite a mainstay, and I still collect DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So I get it, but it's just like this whole thing of like, yeah, it's affected the timelessness of the story. But no, I'm always interested in New Who's unique creation, stuff like the Weeping Angels and how they introduce it. It's also like, I could be wrong about this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I am wrong about this. But like, I don't think I've ever seen them be used in expanded lore, like as in Big Finish mainly.
Yeah, I don't think they have either. But I haven't listened to a lot of, not all of Big Finish, only some.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, because it's impossible to listen to all of Big Finish.
Oh yeah, completely.
You're going to say
true.
that, and then there's going to be one guy in the class going, actually, I've been listening to Big Finish 2 weeks before they even started as a company in 1999. I'm a true fan,
Yeah.
As you get with every time anyone opens their mouth and talks about anything these days. But I just think like it would be really interesting to see them work in other mediums, because
I think
they were scary the first time.
Yeah,
and then seeing them constantly declines the scale. Because if you see a weeping angel now, you go, oh yeah, I just, whatever. They tried to big it up by going, even a photograph of a weeping angel is a weeping angel.
But then that just completely breaks everything completely if you think about it for longer than 5 seconds. Because the episode with Rory and Amy dying, Angels Take Manhattan, if an image of an angel becomes an angel, every single picture of Statue of Liberty is an angel. So it's like, well, now you've just destroyed Earth retroactively. Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly. So there are problems with that. But it's just like, overall, I feel like, this is again a random tangent, but again.
That's Doctor Who. It happens.
What I'm trying to say is, Flux was pretty okay for a starting point.
Yes, yeah. And the dog was weird, but it was a dog, so I don't care. And there's been weird stuff in Doctor Who.
And we haven't even talked about the other guy who is meant to be one of the main characters of it.
The one thing, like, the whole point in the dog is he's there to save Earth with all of his alien dog friends. I imagine they're dogs. But then he captures Dan because he was rude to him?
No, he captures Dan because Dan was the one he was assigned to.
Oh, I just thought it was a chance encounter. Oh, so Dan's got something to do with the Flux.
No, each one of the dogs was assigned a human.
Oh, okay. I see. So there's 7 billion dogs.
Yeah, and that's why they build the big force. That's why they build the big force field at the end of the episode.
Okay, I just thought they meant like I thought they're just going to do like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, where they make a shield around the planet and save people while they're. Oh, so they're actually supposed to be getting all the humans onto the ships.
Yeah, it's like kind
I
of like
completely missed
Noah's
that.
Ark.
Yeah,
I imagine that.
yeah,
But instead of Noah, it's a dog, and instead of animals, it's humans. So it's
yeah.
not like
Dogs
Noah's Ark.
with energy axes.
Yeah, but there was also, I forget the character's name and the actor's name, but there was another character who spent the whole first episode sitting inside a satellite, essentially.
Oh God, yeah, Outpost Rose or something.
Outpost Rose,
Yeah.
which very very good reference. Ha ha ha! We get it. It's funny.
Yeah.
But like, it's this whole thing of like, I wonder how he'll play into it because he didn't really have that much of an impact. As why we haven't talked about him yet because he just
I
didn't
completely
really have
forgot
an
he
impact on the
existed.
story.
He's just some bloke. He's like the Watcher in Marvel, but he's just a random alien.
Yeah, but even the Watcher in Marvel does stuff. He was just like,
Oh yeah, he's just literally watching.
Hi, I'm Mr. Guy. This is my satellite. Oh no, it blew up.
Yeah. Oh no,
And
there's a weird
obviously-
thing coming towards me. Can I evacuate, please?
Obviously, he was there to go. Oh yeah, this is this energy thing destroying the universe is everywhere because it's destroyed all these other planets, and we just saw it do that, right?
Yeah, to like build the stakes. Yeah.
To build the state. That's his purpose so far. But like, if you saw the Comic-Con thing when they were announcing all this, they were like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be the Mr. Big Cool guy who's gonna be everywhere." And like, he hasn't done anything in the first episode. But again, as I've said this whole way through, it's really hard to judge this on one episode.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see because they say like it's a 6-part series, like connected. I wonder if it literally will be, or whether there'll be some like an episode that's half filler, and you're like, but that's got nothing to do with the story.
I feel like it will be a solid six episodes.
Yeah, the fact they keep advertising it as it's a 6-part series, I'm like, okay, so this could be good. This could be very good.
Yeah, I as I say, I have hope, but
Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of Doctor Who fans don't have hope, but I have it.
you can never tell until you see all of it, and I'm sure we'll come back and talk about it once.
Yeah, I
It's
think we
all
should
together.
review the episodes weekly. Although we've already, well, the next one's about to air, isn't it?
The next
No.
one airs in like 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to do
So
episode 2
we're
as
a
well.
week behind, but
Yeah,
Like all the episodes now. You just actually want to be a part of this podcast rather than just be like a fucking tool.
no,
Well-
you just sit there being beautiful, but there's not any like cameras or anything. So we'll just put in a JPEG of your face. You know, like how you have that DVD thing that bounces on the side of the corners.
what's? Oh my god! Oh, I wish I knew how to do that. Oh, that would be funny as fuck.
It's easy.
Oh, that'd be funny. Just having your logo just bouncing about behind the wavelength.
Where in the conversation it's just everyone the whole way through they'll be sitting through this whole episode going, "What's that about?" And then if they listen all the way to the end,
Yeah. What was I going to say? Damn it, it's gone. You reminded me of something and it's gone completely from my head. Oh, when you said that, it reminded me of the those memes where like you can see like someone's crying and then they got like a smiley face as a mask, like that drawing. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, you're talking about yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just imagine like that, but behind the screen, but behind the crying face is like Shane just completely confused of what's going on.
But that was a good review, I think. It was a lot of rambling. I don't know.
Oh, don't you worry.
if
This
it was
is the norm.
The best listen in the world, but there we go. Opinions were said.
Yeah, my last 2 episodes were hour and 40 minutes with Shane and 2 hours talking about Doctor Who episodes because we went through top 10 episodes done by fans, like just after season 12 aired, and
Damn,
like it was funny.
Damn, I should have been there for that. It would have just been me sitting there going, yeah, but like, it's not that great.
Well,
The
if
best
you
episode
want
of
to
Doctor Who is
watch
Love and
it,
Monsters, because if you think about it, right, isn't every episode Love and Monsters if you think about it? Elton Elton Pope is the most relatable Doctor Who character of all time.
Oh yeah, and the Absorbaloff is the best creature of all time. So cool.
Exactly, you know,
Tastes like chicken.
It's more iconic than the Daleks, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, I love an army of
More
Absorbaloffs.
iconic than the Master. Exorbaloff from the planet Crom is
Oh,
simply the greatest science fiction idea ever.
let's just get like loads of them and have it all be Peter K CGI and just like a CGI Peter K army just attacking the Doctor.
That's what the Flux is.
Just a bunch of Absorbaloffs, like it zooms in on the Flux, and it's just a bunch of Peter K going like, tastes like chicken.
No, right at the end, like the Flux, they go, the Doctor's trying to escape from the Flux. The Flux departs. It's just an army of Exorbaloffs, and they all yell and bellow in one sweet second. Tastes like chicken. That's going to be the next stinger for the next episode. It'll be like, and it'll be like terror of the Exorbaloff.
And then it just completely negates anything to do with Sontarans. That's just a complete clickbait.
Yeah, no,
and you click on it, it's just Absorbaloffs.
It's not actually a Sontaran episode. It's actually Exorbaloffs. They absorb the Sontarans, maybe.
Oh god. But yeah, if you want to check out that episode, it's only 2 hours long, so just ranting about Doctor Who. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
So if you've watched all the way to the end, which is I think about an hour now, let me have a gander. Yep, hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, let us know what you think of the episode, and we'll catch you in the next review, which hopefully won't be an hour and 20 minutes, but knowing me, it probably will be.
Hopefully it'll be 9 hours and 20 minutes. So you just have to sit there and listen to people talk about every episode of Doctor Who.
Give the YouTubers EFAP a run for their money, because they do like 10-hour podcasts. That would be funny. Got anything to say, Shane?
Doctor Who was good. Yeah, I really like it.
And that's all you should take from this episode.
Input we've had all. That's the linchpin on this.
I mean, I'm watching the episode right now.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
We're about to end the podcast.
We're about to end it.
Actually sitting down to watch it.
Yeah, should we just sit here for silence for half an hour and just wait for you to finish, then be like, so what did you think?
You can just say it's all right.
Oh my god, can you imagine that? Like, the way I do my videos, it's like the logo of a wavelength, so no one talks for half an hour, and then suddenly you just go, it's alright, and then the video ends.
It's alright, and then you play like the Doctor Who theme song.
Oh my god.
The end.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, well, at least you'll be able to put some input when we do episode 2.
Next podcast, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah. So
yeah. Woo.
Let's hope that Shane enjoys it, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.